Over the past 20 years, the role of the paraprofessional has morphed into what it is today. A typical day in the life of a paraprofessional consists of instructional tasks from the classroom teacher, managing and monitoring behavior programs, social support, academic interventions, data collection, and making sure students are accessing the general education environment. You play a vital role in the education and the development of students with disabilities. Special education law vaguely describes your job. However, there are a few things that are very clearly defined. First, you're adequately and appropriately prepared and trained, and second, you work under the supervision of a highly qualified special education teacher. The highly qualified teacher will do their best to make sure you're appropriately prepared and trained. If there's ever anything you do not understand through your professional development and training during the school year, it's important that you ask questions as they arise and ask for additional support as needed. We want you to feel competent, confident, and well equipped with the skills necessary to perform your duties. As you may know, there are many skills that go beyond the basic job description of being a paraprofessional. One aspect of your job will include your role in the general education classroom. This is a crucial component of school culture and inclusivity, as well as the academic and social development of the students. Many paraprofessionals may have a sense of uncertainty of their role when in the general education classroom. The following information will help you capitalize on the time you spend with your students in the general education classroom, which is one of the most naturalistic and spontaneous learning experiences your students will have during their time in school. Prior to the start of classes, introduce yourself to the teacher of the classroom you'll be scheduled into during the day. The key word here is prior to the start of classes. Imagine being a teacher with well thought out plans for the first day of school, and then having an adult you've never seen before come into your space and attempt to tell you who they are while 20 or 30 students are trying to navigate a new classroom at the same time. Sounds overwhelming, right? When you can talk with a teacher without the distraction of students in first week routines, you can get their input on what your role will look like in the classroom. First, you'll want to introduce yourself and how the students will be addressing you. For example, some paraprofessionals choose the traditional route with their last name, or some choose to go by their first name and students address them as Miss Cindy or Mr. John. Then, you will tell them who you'll be supporting in their classroom. This would be a good time to give some information about the student if it's available. Try and give them positive and need-to-know information so as not to skew their view of the student before they've had a chance to meet them. Keep in mind, most school employees' brains are managing a lot of information at the beginning of a school year or a new semester. Keeping this part short and sweet would be most beneficial. For example, "Hi, my name is John Smith, but students will call me Mr. John. I'm a paraprofessional with our type of program, and I'll be supporting, name of student, in your environmental science class this semester. Student name is a wonderful and sweet young lady who loves animals. She does have a behavior intervention plan for interrupting teachers and students with off-topic ideas, so it would be a good idea for her to sit near the front. You'll be getting a full list of classroom accommodations from her IEP in an email from Classroom Teacher in the next few days." After giving some basic information about yourself and your students, the foundational elements of your role as a paraprofessional will need to be established with the teacher. Keep in mind, all teachers are different. Your job is not to be hidden in the classroom. Make sure the classroom teacher knows to introduce you on the first day so all students know who you are and what your role is. Here's an example. "This is Mr. John. He's going to be with us to provide some extra support for this semester. You're welcome to ask him any questions and we'll work together to get you the support you need." What one teacher excels at may be something another teacher is still developing. For example, one teacher may not have a lot of experience working with students who have a higher level of need. They may need your assistance in steering them in the right direction when developing content and materials that are accessible for your students, whereas some teachers might not need support creating readily accessible materials. Some guiding questions to ask the general education teacher in this situation are: what do you envision my role looking like in your classroom? If my student is absent, would you still like me to come into the classroom if I'm available? Is classwork more independent, or do you like students working in groups? If group work is something that will happen often, I can assist in making sure my student is paired with individuals that will engage my students. If classwork is more independent, I'll need to communicate with my students, and I don't want to distract others. Do you mind if we leave the classroom to work in a quieter space? What level of support do you need with materials? If support is needed, please email Classroom Teacher to discuss how we can best modify the curriculum so it's relevant for the students. I'll bring any materials you design collaboratively with us to class and can implement them with the students. What are your expectations around cell phone usage? My cell phone is the only way I'm able to communicate with program teachers and other paraprofessionals if they need assistance. Beginning the school year, semester, or quarter with these foundational talking points will foster an open and positive relationship with teachers, ultimately creating a better learning environment for your students.